Anthony Slater-Berry News Group. Did you know you had it going at some point in the third, or was there a moment where it was like, okay, this is kind of the time to take this over?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can make every shot I shoot because I shoot good ones and I try to get to my spot. So when they call my number, I just try to go out there and be aggressive.
Kevin, Kirk Bowles from the Austin American. Do you feel like you're back in the form that you had during the regular season before you got hurt?
Yeah.
Completely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Haynes, ESPN. Pop announced this morning that Kawhi wasn't going to play tonight. Did you believe him, or how serious were you think that it was that he wouldn't be out?
In those situations, I feel like you can never believe what Pop says. He always feels like he always mentally he's always a step ahead of everybody. So I didn't believe it until the ball tipped up, I guess, or I guess 90 minutes is when you're supposed to put the whoever inactive list, whatever that is. But yeah, I thought he was going to come out and play, but they had who they had on the floor. They play extremely hard no matter what. They run their sets. They keep it going, no matter what. And they obviously they need him to score and defend and do all the things that he does, but they still play extremely hard. They didn't show any signs of giving up at all.
It's Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Kevin, it looked like you and David had some good chemistry as usual out there in that third quarter there. A few times you got him in the pick and roll. You got some backdoor layups and so forth. What was that chemistry like, and just what was that little stretch there like? I think he had like 17 points in a row or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I did.
I think it was 17 if I counted right.
Yeah, I mean, D. West is a great passer, especially when you got the ball in the pick and roll. You make that pocket pass, the defense relaxes just a little bit. So, he usually wants us to cut back doors, so I got a couple of those. And you get off the ball, just keep moving on the backside. I got a 3 in the corner. So it felt good to see the ball go through the rim. It felt good to handle it a little bit more. But, you got to give the Spurs credit. They play us tough. Defensively, they switch a lot. They're physical. They're aggressive. And they came out tonight with an edge. And I think we did a good job of just taking the punch and keep playing and keep going throughout the whole game. And guys stepped up for us.
Kevin, Steve Hable from Sports Exchange over here. I was going to ask that question. It seems like they were really up early on, and you guys kind of endured their little run. Yeah. In the third quarter, they got it to 4, and then y'all just kind of put it away. Would you see any tiredness in them or anything?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have their best scorer. So, they rely on him. They run everything through him throughout the whole season. So taking him away, it's kind of hard to find your identity after that. But, then you got LaMarcus who still can go out there and score whenever he wants in the post, and Powell, and then Mano's playing like he's 20 years old, So they got, one of the best coaches to ever coach any sport. So it feels like they can always stay in the game and always put up a fight and win. You've seen that in the last series as well with this group. So we knew that, especially at home, Game 3, a lot of energy in the building. They were going to come out and hit us in the mouth, and I think we did a good job of, taking that punch and just keep playing.
Kevin, Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. So outside of Game 1, the games in this series haven't been all that close. In the other series, it's 2-0, but that was the most lopsided victory in playoff history. What do you make of these playoffs and sort of this is the conference finals and they haven't been all that competitive? Obviously, there's injuries affecting these things, but just sort of what do you guys as competitors make of that getting to this stage?
So you're saying it's not been fun watching as a fan?
Well, I don't know. You watched the game last night, or you can only talk about. I'm sure it's fun to play. But.
Yeah, if I was on the team that's up 40 points, I wouldn't. You got to give them credit for being up 40 points, and they went out there and dominated. So that's what you want to do every time you step on the court. So I'm sure they're excited about it. But the fans, they always want to see a tight game. They want to see a buzzer beater every game. But it's not like that sometimes. And every year has been. You have your years where you have great playoff series, 4 or 5 Game 7s, and then some years you have what you see this playoffs. But as players, we want to go out there and win as by as much as possible, and play as great as you can. You know, whatever happens, with the score, it happens. So relay that to the fans who feel upset. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Talk about the impact you got from, JaVale in the first quarter, the energy he came out with early in the game.
He played great for us, finishing a lot. They're not coming off the three-point line as far as, helping off of Clay, myself, Steph. So Draymond does a good job of finding him in the paint, him finishing over top of the rim. He runs extremely hard from end to end from the defense, transition from defense to offense. And, he did a great job, I think, on LaMarcus and guarding him and making him shoot tough shots. He's a great player, but he made him shoot over his length. And, he came out and played great, man. He wants it. He works extremely hard. And, he came up with 13 minutes, 16 points. We'll take that from him any night.
Kevin, when you're playing, you're also reading the game and the rhythm of the game. And it looks like, watching over the course of the season, when the offense clogs up, gets slows down, like your mentality changes a little bit. Am I on to something there, or do you change a little bit when you see the offense in that little struggle spot like that?
I just play, man. I just play. If I see a lane open, sometimes I think too much. Sometimes I look to pass when I should look to score. Sometimes I look to score when I should pass. But I've figured out if I just don't think at all, that's where I'm best. And, so I don't really know. Different games. Some games are different. Some situations are different. I may need to score 17 in a row, or I may not. I may need to be a screener or a decoy, So I try not to think out there. The times when I do think early in the game, I was bad on the defensive end because I was thinking too much. And third quarter, I just went out there and played. Just, not worried about anything. Just played every possession and try to play as hard as I can. And, I was able to score because it started with my defense first. So I try to think about offense. Whatever happens, whatever coach calls, I just try to go out there and run it as hard as I can.
Great, thank you. We'll have Steph Curry.
Like a super easy one. How's your elbow? I saw that you fell and were grabbing it and stuff.
It's fine.
kind of been banged up for a while, laying on the floor kind of hard, but it doesn't affect my performance or shot or anything like that. Just swollen, but I'll be all right. Heard y'all were a quiet bunch today. Not a lot of questions. If you don't got any, I don't have to answer them.
Steph over here. Talk about the energy that JaVale came out with to start the game off, just his defense on LaMarcus and on the offensive end.
He was ready tonight, knew he had opportunity, obviously, to impact the game, from that starting lineup. And him putting pressure on the rim for us with the shooters that we have around is it's a great weapon, and he understands, his importance when he's out there on the floor. And like you said, defensively, he was smart on LaMarcus, just trying to make him work, challenge shots, protect the rim. And he gave us a great boost and great energy. And we got a lot of easy baskets through him to start the game and was able to get a rhythm.
Hi, Steph. Archibald with Diario Marca of Spain. Kevin was in here just talking about Manu Ginobili acting like he was playing like he was 20 years old out there on the court tonight doing what he did. What's it been like for you in your career playing against a guy like Manu?
He's fun to watch, not fun to guard, for sure. He always has some, creative, button he can press just to try something out, and it seems like he never ages. It's pretty special to watch. Even like 2013 playoffs, him hitting big shots against us. Seen a lot of him and a lot of great things. So he's been obviously great for the game of basketball, great for the NBA, great for the Spurs organization. And him continue to play like he is with the energy he has and the spring he has is crazy. I want to know where that fountain of youth is. See if I can get a hold of that for the rest of my career.
Steph, this was a series a lot of folks were looking forward to. The playoffs began, and you guys are up 3-0. What's your level of surprise to be up with a chance to sweep the Spurs, despite what's going on with Kawhi?
Not surprised. I mean, that's our goal is to win every game we play. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't happen like that, but we've answered a lot of challenges throughout the course of the playoffs. And learn a lot of lessons, obviously, all through winning. But against the Spurs, they challenge you no matter who's out there, and you got to play well to beat them. In case like tonight, obviously on the road, knew they were going to come out with a huge fight, and we didn't play our best, but we had enough timely runs, to keep momentum and keep a hold of the game. So, we obviously know Game 4 is going to be even tougher with the chance to close it out, and they're going to go down swinging. So we have to really come in focused and with a lot of energy to get it done on Monday.
Chris Haynes, ESPN, Steph. What do you when do you guys start? Obviously, everybody's feeling like you guys are on a collision course to meet.
But a good team focuses on what's in front of them, and it doesn't matter really what they're doing until we close this thing out. So I'm obviously going to be watching the game tomorrow. I'm a fan of basketball, and you'll understand what goes on in that series, but it doesn't matter until we get that fourth win in this one. Cliche answer, but it's the truth.
Marcus Thompson, Barry News Group. Hey, Steph, what is it like watching Kevin Durant when he goes on his runs? I know you watch Clay do it, but what's his style like? It seems a little smoother, maybe kind of different as you're watching this. What does it look like?
Yeah, it's very smooth. He can do it a lot of different ways. The run he had in the third was a clinic of scoring the basketball. He got in the paint, finished around the rim, hit a tough fadeaway, one-footer. Was in pick and roll situations a lot, being able to play make and create his own shot. He really answered the bell in that moment for us. And then at that point, it's just like anybody who gets the hot hand, just give him the ball, get out the way. and let him do what he does. And his versatility demands a lot of attention. And it is fun to watch him, get hot like that from three-point line all the way, to the basket, and you just never know, how he's going to do it.
Steph, Tim Kawakami, Mercury News. Mike Brown's been bragging about your defense. Do you feel like you've picked up your level of defense? Did you focus on that maybe in the last round or two? Do you think you're playing some of your best defense right now?
Coach Ron Adams challenged me going into the playoffs to really focus on just energy and the little things that I can do to impact the game on that end. Just staying in front of my guy, playing great, defense off the ball so I can be in the right spots to help. Other than tonight, did a pretty good job of not fouling so I can stay on the court. And usually when I, have a huge presence on that end of the floor, good things happen on the opposite end because I can help rebound, I can push and transition off of steals or whatever the case may be and put pressure on that transition defense. And so, it's a focus and this has to keep getting better, trying to do little things as we try to realize a goal.
And also on those fouls, you were waving him off when you picked up your third. Were you worried there that you were coming out? Do you think you had to convince him to stay in there?
He's kind of been my go-to guy whenever I wanted to stay on the floor in certain situations with Coach Curl when he was coaching. Sometimes I didn't win that argument. Most of the time I didn't win that argument. But tonight he gave me a chance, and I don't know how long I played with 3 fouls in the second quarter, but just tried to just keep my hands out the cookie jar and stay solid, and it worked out. So. Hopefully I don't have to test that anymore.
Put your hands behind your back. I saw that one time. Was that?
I was just showing him I know I got 3 fouls and I won't do anything stupid.
Steph, Jabari Young, San Antonio Express News. You guys have been here before all postseason, up 3-0. What's the mindset now going into Monday, knowing that they're going to show some fight too?
It really. Puts an emphasis on that starting unit. How we start the game, game 4 is going to be huge. You have an opportunity to continue to set the tone early, try to take any momentum that the Spurs are going to have in game 4 because they're going to come out with a lot of energy and trying to rely on the home crowd. So if we can handle those first 6-8 minutes and try to get a lead and build some momentum on our side, it should be a good situation for us. And, for the most part, against Portland, against Utah, we were able to do that in game 4 or game 4s and really, set the tone early. And so we have an opportunity to do that in game 4 and try to make it as easy on ourselves to play a good 48-minute game.
Steph, when you added Kevin Durant, it became such an embarrassment of riches. In some ways, you almost feel sorry for teams trying to defend so many weapons like y'all have.
No, not in those terms, but I mean, it's fun to watch when we're on the floor when things are clicking because there are obviously so many weapons, and when we keep it simple, that's when we're at our best. As crazy as it sounds, it's just trying to make the right pass, knowing that everybody is a threat on the floor, and when the ball's hopping and guys are put in the right position to make plays, good things happen. So. That's our challenge as we've gone through the regular season and the playoffs is try not to do too much because when we keep it simple, like I said, we were at our best and we can put a lot of pressure on defenses to try to guard us.